What's going on, guys? Logan Majerus here with Midwest Tail Chasers. We're adventuring into something new, more so on the habitat management side of things for our white-tailed deer here in northern Minnesota. The project is called Project 120. A little backstory: this is my family's land. My parents bought it in 2018, and we are going into 2024 now. And there has been 0 big bucks shot in those basically almost 5 years of hunting. So this last June, we had purpose-filled habitat management, Sam, come out, walk through the property as much as we could. It was wet and the mosquitoes were horrible, so we didn't get as much done as we wanted. But he kind of laid out a foundation plan for us, and then this last December here, I actually went out, walked it myself with my dad and family, and kind of made a little bit of adjustments from what Sam actually gave us on X. And I'm going to kind of lay it out here and go through what we're planning on doing. And then following for the next 6 months, hopefully, we're getting video for you guys, uploading it once a month, hopefully at least, of these updates that we're doing. So, little background, it's 340 chunks. We actually do own the 40 to the north now. That happened this fall, not including it in this for right now. That land's kind of unknown. So we got the cabin up here on the north end, northwest corner. Blue lines are all of our food plots. We just have a ½ acre up there by the house, just to see deer during late summer and late winter. All the green are our trail systems through it, and we'll just jump right in. The first cut that we are going to make is actually a aspen bedding cut. This is just going to be a flush cut all the way through, about ½ acre, maybe a little bit more in the chunk, close to the big food plot, destination food plot. 1 second here, we're having some difficulties. There we go. Oh, caught. So this is going to be a destination food plot, 3 acres roughly after we go in there and remove the remainder of the trees that we have. Setting up this aspen cut for the does, easy access for them. Right now, this food plot is probably roughly 1 acre. It runs sort of like this, maybe 1.5 acres. We're going to clear out all the pines in there and essentially double it. And the plan for this food plot is we're going to leave some of these trees up here. We're going to put a box stand in those trees, kind of give us a little bit of cover. We'll have our green food plot, roughly 1 acre or so, and this is all going to be covered by corn or beans for the early season portion all the way around. Within that, we're going to do little clover trails, so we're going to have a clover trail getting us to our stand, and then every so often for the deer to travel into, so they can't actually see into that green source food plot. They actually have to step in to check out, make sure there's any deer. Moving on to another hinge cut or flush cutting, we're going to screen around this whole food plot here. Whether that's a flush cut or hinge cutting or putting switchgrass in, hopefully that's what I really want to do. Just depends on how much we can actually clear out around there. That kind of gives us our 3 acre food plot there, destination food plot for them, as there's not a ton around us. If you go south a couple miles, there's big ag fields, so we want to keep as much food up here as we can for them. Brings us into the next bedding cut. This one is kind of on the edge of a swamp. I wouldn't call it necessarily a swamp. You got almost like prairie grass in the woods, and it does get a little bit wetter when we do have a wet year. So this one, more doe bedding more than likely for them. And we also have our bedding cut that we actually did in June with Sam up over here. And the plan is to actually take all these bedding cuts and connect them with trails. I'm just going to lay out these next few bedding cuts here for us. And this is not to scale, obviously. So those are our 5 bedding cuts that we have that we plan on doing. We have a trail system connecting them all so the bucks can easily travel through, check all those in the rut. Which brings us down to our next food plot. This is going to be basically a green source for the whole year. Hopefully going to plant some clover in it this spring, and then come fall do a turnip plot. And kind of same with our new food plot down here that we have. Moving into our stand locations, and I'm hoping we can get all of this on film. Everything from why we're putting it there to the specific tree that we're putting it in, for winds, what time of year, all the above. So my first location for a stand is right up in here, in between these 2 bedding cuts. Obviously for a south wind, which we get early season and then even sometimes during the rut. I just want to have that option. If it does happen during the rut, we can move in easily from the road into that stand, catch any cruising bucks through there. Another rut stand. It's kind of just in the middle of these woods here. Access probably come off from the road, come in. And this is more so going to be your north, northeast, northwest winds during that rut time. And the reason why these are more than likely morning spots to hunt, because in theory our deer are in our food plots during the early mornings. Once it starts getting 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, they're moving back to their bedding. We can catch them before they get back there. So this is kind of the plan. Our trail systems we're going to plant with clover and chicory, and hopefully we see some big improvements this year. Like I said, 0 big bucks shot in 5 years of hunting. Even the doe numbers are low, so hopefully giving all this bedding cuts, getting ample food for them, we can pull more in and make this into a deer haven for them. So that's all we have. Stay tuned and follow along for our Project 120.